All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Tracy Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Netcom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. And we're very excited to host today's webinar, 5 Most In-Demand Cybersecurity Roles. And presenting today's topic is Tom Updegrove. Tom is an information security expert with over 35 years of experience in security tools, technologies, and best practices. He has 10 years of experience in the creation and deployment of solutions protecting networks, systems, and information assets for diverse companies and organizations. He has knowledge of virtual computing, VMware, Microsoft Hyper-V, Sun Virtual, Box, KVM, and QEMU. He's been a security consultant with developing the Cyber Kung Fu brand of security training and acted on the front line of deploying firewall strategies, antivirus, and anti-malware techniques. Now, please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We do offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored towards your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you will get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. And now I'd like to invite Mary Feeney, Director of Corporate Learning here at Netcom Learning, to discuss some values and important items. Mary, go ahead.
Thanks, Tracy. Netcom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. Today's presentation is from the security practice area. Netcom Learning offers a comprehensive portfolio for cybersecurity training options. Enroll for any of the recommended courses below and add 15% to your savings. We have the CISSP certification prep training scheduled on Feb 19. We have CompTIA Security Plus certification class scheduled on Feb 19 as well. And we have the Cyber Security Analyst certification scheduled on Feb 26, the SSCP certification scheduled on March 5, and EC Council's CEH version 9 and CNDA class that's on March 12. Use promo code WSC0102, and this promotion is valid until Feb 18, 2018. We can also deliver private training to your teams, of which the learning plan can be customized to the specific needs of that audience. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. With that, I'll turn you back to Tracy.
Well, thank you so much, Mary, for all that valuable information. So why should you all attend this webinar today? Expecting the talent gap in information security domain to reach 1.8 million jobs by 2022, cybersecurity roles rank the highest among the most difficult to fill in the enterprise. Preventing cyber attacks needs knowledgeable, professional, and highly skilled IT security staff. As the demand is extremely high and supply is very low, companies invest largely to find and hire well-trained technicians from the industry and offer the optimized opportunities. In this webinar, you'll explore the 2018 cybersecurity scenario and learn about trends, skills, and job roles. And now I'd like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To start with, you do have the option to adjust the window size to your liking. Simply hit the Escape key and find the Zoom button on the top left corner of your GoToWebinar viewer. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Please feel free to submit any questions you do have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. A PDF copy of today's slides are also in the handout section of your GoToWebinar viewer. And in just a few moments, I'm going to pass this off to Tom, who will be presenting today's topic. Tom, go ahead. You've got the screen.
Hey, thank you, Tracy and Mary, for that splendid introduction. And this is, if you didn't realize, NetCom Learning. The title is actually top 5, but I took the liberty to stretch this out. I actually have 18 different cybersecurity jobs and the certification pathways. The different ways that we're going to be able to attain that, and a little bit about myself as we get into that. So I got my start into information and communication technology in the military. I was a microwave communications specialist with the 7th Corps Army. I presently am an instructor with EC Council. I teach ethical hacking, certified network defense, and certified security analyst. They're all EC Council courses. I develop virtual labs for a number of publishers, mainly for cyber hacking, cyber development, learning how to have safe environments where you can learn the tricks that the hackers are using and how to get more experience with the tools for determining what exploits happen, how they happen, and how they're doing it. I am also a network consultant as well as a security consultant currently. There's some of my certifications. I'm a lifelong martial arts expert. I'm a 9th degree black belt in the Joe Louis kickboxing system. And along with my partner, we have developed a program called Cyber Kung Fu, which takes the concepts of martial arts and applies the strategies, the offense and defense utilized for cyber defense. It's fascinating. I'm sure if you do a little Googling, you'll find some of our videos out there, all free stuff. Okay. And here are the 18 different cybersecurity roles, from the Chief Information Security Officer, forensic expert, penetration tester, security analyst, security auditor, security director, security manager, security specialist, vulnerability assessor, cryptographer, incident responder, security administrator, security architect, security consultant, which I am, security engineer, security software developer, code auditor, and because we are rapidly moving into the cloud, really it's a cloud security professional, because as we look at all of these roles all now are flowing over into aspects of the cloud. And so I'll hit a little section on that as we move through these chapters. I took these roles and I rated them in terms of salaries. I figured this way, if you're looking for a job, you want to get the best paying job. Okay? So naturally at the top is the Chief Information Security Officer. That could go to $250,000. Naturally, it all depends on your skill, experience, and who you're going to work for. Some of these roles fold into each other. A security director, you may have a security director and not a CISO. Architect, security architect, consultant, and so on. As we hit towards the end, we'll look at some of these roles and how these roles kind of fill. So it depends on the down towards that bottom half. These really are all kind of fill into security staffers. But a simple diagram, but yet I think one that's helpful to see where we fit into this. So naturally at the top, you've got your C-level, your information security officer. Security consultant really kind of fits in there, but consultants are not a full-time gig. So consultants go from company to company and giving a fresh viewpoint on the structure and nature of security policies, security behavior. Security officer and investigator is your law enforcement, your gates, your guards, your guns, this type of stuff. And this can also play into the pure security. So we're looking at the physical layer, where we're looking at building security along with information security. A security manager, security director sits underneath that. Technicians, analysts, and staffers. Staffer you may find that forensic work in here. You may find them working up in the as a security investigator. So it all depends. A lot of times, even these are consultants that are third parties that come in. So I hope that slide gives us a better idea of the structure of it. So the number one job, in fact, anybody's out there looking for a job, you've got the skills and qualifications. I'm going to give you a tip. The Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City is looking for a chief information security officer. I'm sure it's going to be a great paying job, and it's a fun town. I'm in Philadelphia, so I'm pretty close to it, and I know people in that area, and I know they're looking. And so they have quite a number of roles, but really to consider the CISO a 5-star general, right? Takes care, he's a C-level position, oversees, provides leadership, and handles any initiatives that concern security of the organization. In big companies, you might even find yourself interacting with FBI and different law enforcement agencies. Quite a number of roles. I mean, you've got to appoint and guide a team of security experts. You've got to create plans. You have to deploy them. You need to supervise the development to make sure you're in compliance with policy standards. You need to define the framework for those policies. You have to integrate IT systems or orchestrate them. You need to collaborate with the key stakeholders, and that's the most important. You need to be able to communicate to the stakeholders what the cost of this is going to be, and what they're going to get for their money. Audit existing systems, provide risk management, anticipate new security threats. You need to stay up to date. The landscape is evolving rapidly. There's never a dull moment in this field. Really, you're basically handling the team, and in that position, in that well-paid position, it all falls on your shoulders. There's a lot of responsibility. And so naturally, it does take some years of experience to get there. These are some of the certifications that would be helpful. More than likely, a master's degree in information systems, information security would help. You don't have to. I know people that haven't finished high school. They're CISSPs. They demand they get a high salary. They're definitely 3 figures. But there's a ceiling. They can't go beyond. So most enterprises are really looking for master's level in information systems. CISO, so Certified Information Systems Auditor. CISM. GIAC actually handles another. This is your global information systems certification programs. CISO or CISO, that is an EC Council. This is a recently developed program. It's a strong program. One I recommend if you've done your CEH, maybe done ECSA, you're looking to move further up the chain of command. Definitely, it would be a good course to do. CISSP, acronyms, you're not going to be held accountable for pronouncing acronyms correctly, but CISP is what most people will call it. CISP will get you in the door anywhere. It's probably the #1 highest regarded certification out there, although CISP will not really give you the hands-on, nitty-gritty type of hacking, ethical hacking that CEH or ECSA will do. CISSP, CISM, these are all courses that you can attend either online or in classroom training at Netcom Learning. Okay? Just check their schedule. Number 2 on the list is a Director of Security. Director of Security may replace the CISO. All depends on the structure and size of the company. But it's a person in charge of overseeing IT security measures throughout the entire organization. It's a senior level position. Strategic oversight of every aspect of security, from staffing, budgets, protocols, incident response, and you may be the CISO for that company, depending on the size and where you're working. Okay? This particular slide saying you got an average salary of $200,000. I think it's lower, but it depends really who, where, what you actually are doing this work for. Pretty similar. They have a lot of requirements, knowledge you need to know, and certainly responsibilities and duties. They, as well as the CISO, manage the IT security programs. You need to prioritize, allocate security responses, define, implement, maintain corporate security policies and procedures. It helped to integrate the system development, upgrades, moving on to newer technology. You're definitely in charge of the handling the vulnerabilities and developing a disaster recovery plan. You're going to be a focal point for security investigations, liaisons to help the stakeholders and law enforcement communicate. You need to prepare financial forecasts. You need, just like the CISO, you need to know what you're getting for your dollar, okay? How you're spending it, what your rate of exposure, what your level of exposure is, what the risks are, really how to deal with insurance companies. You need to provide leadership for your team. You need to be able to provide reports for executive management. You need to organize and again, be liaisons between the legal, the regulatory, as well as the organizational requirements for whatever your security goals are. Okay? And you'll probably be hiring and firing employees. And certainly, it'd be the weight falls on you to implement the security policy and to enforce the teeth in the security policy. You happen to hear a little screaming in the background. I've got a macaw that gets a little jealous, and up to this point, I haven't been able to put a muzzle on her. What can help you to attain the security director, CISO, Certified Information Systems Auditor? If you get these slides, you'll see I left a little hyperlink in there. So ISACA is really the certifying body for that. CISM, again, is another ISACA. CISP is IC squared. And the Information Systems Security Management Professional, ISSMP, is another IC squared certification as well. You do not necessarily have to attend training to an authorized ISACA or IC squared training center. You need to be able to handle that test. Okay? You need to find an instructor that understands the requirements of the test to be able to bring across the vocational understanding of and learning that you need for the role, but as well to understand the test. A lot of people just have consider CISSP really a language exam. So you need an instructor that's going to be able to bridge that for you. If English isn't your native language, okay, find an instructor that understands that for you. Just a little tip from the top. Next comes a security consultant. So we looked at our diagram. The security consultant kind of fits right up underneath that. So consultants, I guess you consider them an all-round security guru, like the Obi-Wan Kenobi of information technology. You need to know, a consultant needs to know something about everything. You need to understand the workings of Microsoft, Linux, Apple, web servers, intrusion detection systems, firewalls. I mean, you name it, you need to understand the components of it. So the consultant, you're just trying to determine the best way to protect the system. You need to be able to analyze the system, run vulnerability assessments, risk assessments, and then devise a plan to raise the bar, to enhance the security posture so that they're minimizing the risk. Again, vulnerability testing, you need to understand security standards, authentication protocols. Today, we're moving rapidly away from passwords. If you're not using two-factor authentication on everything you're doing, okay, you're being foolish. But as we move to more identity management tools that have single sign-on, that are using strong tokenized authentication, a lot of the password problems will go away. You need to understand the levels of exposure, the annual rate of occurrences, okay, and you would think guy would turn his phone off. Test security solutions, use the industry standard analysis criteria, deliver technical reports, formal papers, technical supervision. You need to be able to communicate. Typically a consultant comes in as an outsider. You work with a team, but at the same time, you advise a team. As well, you have a better chance of defining and implementing and developing the policies out. Help them to update and upgrade their systems. That's usually typically the role. A security consultant, CISP, again, one that highly recommended. But as a security consultant, and I don't have on here CEH. I think CEH is a great way. Now, we do have the Offensive Security Certified Professional, the OSCP, a great hands-on certification as well. You'll find that not only ISACA, IC Squared, EC Council, Microsoft, Cisco, Sun, these certifications all are important, helpful, but there's a lot of certifying bodies out here. Certified security consultants, certified protection professional. This has gone a little deeper into other areas. Physical security professional. These are things that, though, are really important for you to understand. How to secure a building, how to secure the power to the building, how to secure the communications to the building. So it's a very broad area. I like it because there's always something new. There's always special areas. There's a ton of learning, and you never really kind of sitting back going, "Oh, I know it all now." Next down the line is it's pretty common, an information system security manager. Okay, so a manager will, and you can see ISSM and CISM, these are two of the standard managers. So manager kind of falls at kind of a mid-level, okay? So they determine the most effective way to, did I hit this right? Go. again, you're dealing with strategies, but you don't have to make the top level decisions. Okay, it's important for you to work with your team and be able to ensure that the requirements from top management are carried out by the lower level teams. But still, you need to implement organization-wide training. Security awareness training, very, very important one today. Protocols and procedures, basically, what is your disaster recovery procedure? You're the person who's going to really act that out. You need to ensure that compliance is enacted and that it's being handled correctly. Assess tech and select new security products and technologies, prepare cost estimates, identify integration issues, actually prototype new developments more as if you're going to move a particular app to the cloud. You need to run that in a test bed first before you ever go live. And they administer budgets and staff schedules. It's a very, very important role. Some of the pathways there: CISM, again, CISSP, as I said, very important, and the Global Information Assurance certification body has a series. They have quite a few security certifications that can help you to understand what it is. This one I brought in because we're moving quickly into the cloud. So Cloud Security Professional covers all the areas. The IC Squared has come up with the CCSP, or Certified Cloud Security Professional, and it's really broad. There are some things that we need to understand with the cloud that aren't running in the legacy network. One of which is you have you have a deperimeterized network. You have data that's in various places, and the three rules for any type of cloud security are encryption, encryption, encryption. Now, bar that from the real estate people. But you need to encrypt your data en route. You need to encrypt your data at rest. And today we're looking at a called homomorphic style of encryption, which keeps your data encrypted at rest, but yet you can parse the data properly. It requires some powerful ASIC hardware to do this, but actually, as we move along into blockchain, cryptocurrency, this type of highly encrypted and difficult compute-wise computing, we are going to need more powerful machines, more powerful networks. Okay? But again, this is where we're headed. What are the roles? You engage with businesses to build and evaluate cloud-based solutions. So that would be your role, and trying to drive down the risk using best practices. Right? You direct the support of the principal security specialist role, and as such be responsible for contributing, implementing, and measuring strategic cloud security programs. Must be able to compile information, prepare reports. You need to work with application developers, system engineers, stakeholders to ensure the mitigation of the risk are identified. So the two biggest issues with any type of cloud computing is that you don't have it any longer in-house, so that anybody in the world, any of billions of computer users, can connect to your data. So you want to make sure that you mitigate that. And really, if you apply best practices, you're information will be safer than it probably is in-house. Interact with internal and external customers on security-related projects, operational tasks, and protect and conduct brief outs to again, to senior staff members, executives, and stakeholders. And you need to plan, implement, upgrade, monitor the security controls. You'll probably be working with some type of SIM. And as well, cloud endpoint type security. And ensure the appropriate security policies and controls are in place that will safeguard those files. The certifications in cloud security, CCSK was probably the first information security certification for cloud out there. CCSP is kind of built on top of that because a little deeper, a little stronger because it's IC squared, and they're expecting you as a CISSP to add this to your body of knowledge. Okay? However, you don't have to be a CISP to take the CCSP exam. CI, a certified integrator, it's really a European-based certification, but yet the emphasis here is how to integrate various strategies, whether it's your authentication strategy or your provider, how to pick the right provider, how to read the SLAs. So all of this really, really important. So have a number of issues. I mean, one of the big issues with the cloud, of course, is that you're no longer dealing with local laws, you're dealing with international law, and international law, as the term is cloudy. So one needs to understand that. CompTIA, again, the CompTIA cloud is taught at Netcom Learning. The PCSM, the Professional Cloud Security Manager, again, another, you'll never lose gaining knowledge, okay? You'll only gain. Security engineer. So here's the person who is going to be dealing with firewalls, routing, failover, really putting this up, looking at your access control list. Okay, so the security engineer has a pretty big job. A lot of responsibilities there. So moving along there, and again, a list of requirements. You need to be creative. Like I said, you're going to be installing firewalls. You're going to really be analyzing the data flowing through those firewalls. Today, with threat intelligence, you need to be able to define a list of rules in your intrusion detection and your intrusion prevention that mitigates the risk, but yet doesn't impinge on the usability of the system. Develop automation scripts to handle and track incidents, investigate intrusion incidents. You're at the top of the forensic investigations. You would be really collecting that information. You collaborate with colleagues on authentication, authorization, encryption solutions, evaluate new technologies. You're going to be testing security solutions. Deliver again, reporting, a very, very important part of your responsibilities to make sure that everyone that is in the chain knows what's to be done, what has been done, and what you're doing now. Responding to information security incidents during each stage of a project's life cycle. Okay, so you need to be a bit of a project manager here. You need to really supervise the changes and make sure the change management is being handled properly and notated. You need to enforce the security policies. Certainly define, implement, but that's part of your job is enforcing it. Analyzing, advising on new technology. You need to stay abreast, and again, you're also involved there with legal and compliance requirements. A few courses that can get you to that point is CEH, Cisco, CCNP, CCNA. CCNA will start. You can get a CCNA security. So it's a tough course. Again, you can do Cisco Learning at Netcom. GSEC, GIACs, again, some of their certifications. And again, there we find CISSP. You'll see the CISSP is really done at each level. Okay? CISSP is considered really an upper management course, though. Okay? They're assuming you have all the networking, code writing, application experience to really now move to another level. Okay? Forensic investigator. Moving down the line, I know people that do really, really well in this area. Again, the CHFI is another EC Council course. Certified hacking forensic investigator. But you need to, basically your job is to collect evidence and then be able to analyze that evidence so that you don't taint it. Okay? So there's a whole procedure on collecting and dealing with the chain of evidence so that it is truly admissible in court. Okay? Really today this combines a little bit really with a malware analysis expert. The two can kind of be, they both fall into that same role. But you need to be able to dismantle, rebuild damaged systems, retrieve lost data, generally looking for evidence that could be admitted in a court of law for a legal case. You need to be able to report and write declarations, prepare evidence for trial, give expert counsel to attorneys. Today, definitely the law is catching up with information technology. Today we have attorneys that specialize in that alone, but yet and I'm from time to time called to give expert counsel, and I find that that people are highly misinformed as to really how the technology works and what can happen. And it'd probably make for a great podcast. Train law enforcement officers on how to collect computer evidence, and again, keep abreast of emerging technologies, software and methodologies. The forensic software just keeps getting better and better. NCASE keeps developing their software along with all the others. And you need to stay abreast, stay proficient. And there's a lot of areas here. There's cloud forensics. There's mobile device forensics. There's legacy computer forensics. So we've got a lot of areas to deal with. There's communication forensics. And, some of the courses, so CCE, Certified Computer Examiner, Certified Ethical Hacker, NCASE Certified Examiner, NCASE, great tool. GIAC, again, Incident Handler, Forensic Analyst, Forensic Examiner, all dealing a little bit with different levels of it. CCFE, Certified Computer Forensics Examiner, okay, that is by iacertifications.org. Certified Pen Tester. And there's a lot of certified pen testing programs out there. EC Council, again, has their licensed pen tester expert course, which they've just recently developed. Requires 2 6-hour parts of the exam where you got to actually go into a virtual network, do a complete vulnerability assessment, pen test, find the vulnerabilities in machines, actually prove the vulnerabilities are true, and you get another 6 hours to write a report. Okay? It's a tough, everybody says tough. Certified reverse engineering analyst. Okay? Kind of really starting to move into code analysis. Number 9 is a pen tester. What's a pen tester do? Perform formal pen tests on not only web applications, but networks and computer systems. Conduct physical security assessments, not only of the service systems and networks, but of the building. Sometimes a pen tester is going to test the front desk to see if they can get any information from those who work in the front desk or the guards. Sometimes a pen tester will go to the watering hole where everybody goes to after work. A lot of levels to the pen tester. All depends on what we're going to do with it. But they're probing for vulnerabilities. They're going to pinpoint methods that attackers could use, and they will. In fact, I've done 2 webinars for Netcom. One was on ethical hacking, and the other was on social engineering. I'm sure that they're in the library. If you want to know more about it, refer back to them because we went pretty in depth in it. So there's a lot to consider. There's a lot of training, a lot of study. The best way to get started on this level is take the ethical hacking course. The ethical hacking course won't make you an expert hacker, but it'll get you started. And everybody that, in fact, anyone who is involved in pen testing at one time or another is taking the CEH course. Okay, so highly recommend it. Yeah, besides, I might wind up being your teacher. A couple of ways to get there: CEH, CPT, CEPT. GIAC again, offensive security certified professional. These are the people that bring you Kali Linux 300. It's a weaponized Linux build. You can fire up. You can go get it now and fire it up. Okay? The trick is you got 300 tools. You need to learn them. Learn how to do them. Okay? So that's what we do in CEH. We pull apart each tool: Wireshark, Nmap, Metasploit, to name a few. Burp Suite to understand web hacking. GIAC again, certified reverse engineering analyst again. Okay, and number 10 is your security specialist. So specialist really could be many different jobs. You're going to be working under a manager. But the roles can vary. You're doing all kinds of things. You're analyzing networks, defending systems, configuring support. You got to learn about tools. You have to know about firewalls, antivirus software. I got a buddy. All he does is deal with infected machines. Okay, he's shown me. He's got a cocktail approach, much like they used when AIDS first happened. They would try a cocktail of different drugs. Today, use a cocktail of different antivirus tools, anti-malware tools to kind of clean up a system. You need to understand the control structures and the access privileges. You need to understand vulnerability testing. You need to oversee and monitor routine security administration, develop and update business continuity and disaster recovery protocols. You're going to be dealing with the user. They have an issue. You're the person they're going to be talking to. And again, even here, there's many levels for that. Some of the ways, Security Plus, great course. Okay, again, Netcom has both online as well as classroom Security Plus. CCNA, great course. CEH, any of the GIAC security certifications, and there again, CISP. Okay, I think CISP is. I would get CCNA, CEH, Security Plus before I went for CISP, because they'll give you really the fundamentals. Okay, if you're not so up on your networking, okay, then take Networking Plus. Okay, fantastic course. Okay, they really give you the skills and things that you need. Okay, again, to review all of these, you can see I didn't hit incident responder, vulnerability assessor. Those are still great paying jobs. Okay? They're out there, man. You just check the job listings. Okay, every one of these jobs somebody needs today. Today, I see ethical hacker, highly sought after occupation. So I highly recommend getting that thing under your belt. Well, thank you for attending. It's been an honor and a pleasure to share all these findings with you. And, at this point, I can turn it over to Tracy, and maybe somebody has some questions because we still have a few minutes left.
Great. Thank you so much, Tom. That was very informative, and we want to remind our attendees that Netcom Learning does offer a comprehensive portfolio for cybersecurity training options. Check those out on your screen, and you can enroll for any of the recommended courses and add 15% to your savings. And don't forget to use our promo code that you see up there, which is valid through February 18th. Team training can be customized and accelerated to meet your organization's specific needs. You can contact us today to be connected to one of our learning consultants to help advise you on your specific needs. Simply email webinar@netcomlearning.com or search our catalog at netcomlearning.com as well. And we all know technical skills are necessary to empower your career. But do you need to improve or upgrade your leadership skills as well in order to accelerate your career? Along with your technical abilities, develop the skills you need to manage yourself, others, and business better. Welcome to Starter Learning, a collaborative knowledge platform bringing the world's best business and leadership insights from Fortune 1000 leaders, best-selling authors, and Ivy League professors. If you are interested in learning from the top American leaders, please log on to the e-learning platform at starterlearning.com and avail the special promotions meant for first-time users. You can use coupon code SARTER10 and begin your leadership journey right now. And right now, we are going to launch a quick poll to find out how many people might be interested in taking some additional training. And we do have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register. And don't forget to like and follow our social media pages to get the latest technology updates. You can refer to our GoToChat webinar window in order to get the links. And yes, indeed, Tom, we do have a few questions, so let's get to some of those. First one is from Kunal, who would like to know, what is the exact role of a security engineer in all of this?
Interesting. They build and maintain IT security solutions, firewalls, access control lists. So the engineer really implements, that's typically the role, to implement the security hardware and software.
Asking certification courses explained in the webinar, are they available online? Yes, we were just promoting those earlier, so you can check those out. I don't know if this question makes sense. Did I miss number 8? Does that mean anything to you, Tom?
I don't know. Number 8.
And yeah, we're doing the poll right now, so I can't. Okay, that's a mystery. Any other final thoughts before we end today's session?
Looking back, number. Oh, you had something? Yeah, 8 dropped right out. My bad. Okay. Very observant. Very observant.
Well, that will be. They can download that. We have the PDF, so they can take a look at that afterwards. They'll be getting it.
How about anything else?
No. How about you? Any other final thoughts before we end today's session?
No, other than it's just it's a burgeoning field, and anybody online that is thinking about it, be a smart move. But get your ABCs down. Get your networking. Get your understand the roles and components of what security is about. So probably the best roadmap would be Network Plus, Security Plus, or CCNA, ethical hacking, and then CISSP. And if you're thinking about any cloud, either the CCSK or the CCSP. So there you have it.
Well, thank you, Tom, and thanks to all of you for joining us today. If you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.